I'm ready to move into what the rest of the team, is going to be doing for training camp and what to really look for. So I have a couple things that I'm really looking for, or I had this topic kind of picked out before I knew the whole Purdy thing. But my number one thing to look for in camp is how Trey Lance performs. Because Trey Lance is, I would say, the most healthy of the quarterbacks, or the most intriguing, because he was the one they invested in. That was the original plan before they even had Purdy. Mm-hmm. So I want to see how he does. He has the higher ceiling as a quarterback. He hasn't had as much success as Purdy, but he has the higher ceiling. So I want to see how he does, because this team has been missing that elite level talent at the quarterback position. Number two, the second thing that I want to see is how Brock Purdy's arm holds up, the remainder of training camp. I want to see, obviously he's on a pitch count, but I want to see if Brock Purdy is able to, if he has to take more time off, or if he can't make some of the throws that he was able to make last year. Like I said, today he looked fine, but dude had a serious injury on his elbow, and he had surgery to repair it. So I want to see if he's able to stand the test of time, throwing the football over the whole training camp. And another thing I want to say, it's a good thing that Purdy is cleared, because you know what? If the plan is to have Purdy for week 1, he better be getting reps with the offense. You don't just throw him in there after no offseason. And then also, I think it's a good thing for Trey to have this, Trey's got to work his ass off in order to, some people think his spot on the team is in jeopardy. I don't, but I typically think competition brings out the best in everybody. I just hope that it doesn't bring out the worst. Yeah. In terms of everybody being afraid to make a mistake, so they just only practice dink and dunks just to have their stats and like, oh, I made the right decision, coach, or like, I didn't turn the ball over. To me, this is practice. You should be practicing. All right, you're getting this look against this defense. I need to see, obviously you want to make the right read, but if you're going to test something out, don't test it in a game. Do it. It's practice. And in today's NFL, you don't get that much time to practice anymore. They used to do 2-a-days. They used to have so much more time to actually, practice. Now it's just like sort of a dress rehearsal, and they kind of figure it out as the season goes on.
Yeah. Well, I think the interesting thing about Purdy is that this is his first full off season, which technically it isn't because of his elbow injury, but I mean, Trey Lance is the more seasoned guy, and like you said, he was the big investment, and he was a project. You would think that I just realized my mic is unplugged right now.
You've been using,
yeah. I can't believe this.
There's no way.
How do I sound now?
Hold on, make sure it's on the correct thing. So go to settings. I don't hear you at all now.
Yeah, so now I'm on my mic. This whole time.
What the hell, Mike?
Yeah, Mike loses his mic. Anyways, well, at least I didn't sound bad, hopefully.
No, I don't think you sounded bad, but we'll definitely be able to see the difference in this specific clip.
Yeah. But point being, if Trey Lance was this project, you would want to see it through. Why would Mr. Irrelevant change that for you? Again, that's the nice thing about Purdy to me is okay, it's never a bad thing to have multiple good quarterbacks. That is never a bad thing, because
just ask Bill Walsh. He had 3 of them.
Right, but look at the Eagles recently. They had Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts, and they traded Carson Wentz for 2 third-round picks or something. It's that's worth something, If you could trade a Brock Purdy for 2 third-round picks, that's a huge win considering you spent the very last pick of the 7th round for him, right? But the other thing about him is that, again, he's on a bare minimum contract, so he's not getting in the way of anything. He's just perfect to have on the team. Trey Lance is the one that's got all the investment, yada, 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 right? Again, why wouldn't you want to see that through? Again, like you said, if they don't, it's like, yeah, that's a fireable offense. That was franchise changing what they did, that trade they made to get there, to get him.
Do you remember what I told you when that happened? I swear I had like the scene from Batman versus Superman in my head where it was like it was when Batman or Bruce Wayne was sitting in the Batcave, and then the Flash was like, Bruce, you were right about everything, and then it was like the freaking nightmare scene, right?
Yeah.
I was like,
this is your nightmare.
Yeah, this is like the night. If this doesn't work out, like, I think I told you, I was like, oh, this better be good. Whoever they get, this better be fucking worth it. And you know what? You know what we've got out of it so far?
Brock Purdy.
No, we've gotten 4 games out of our 3 first and a third.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, yeah, not very good. But again, I would just, if I were the coaching staff, I'd want to see the project all the way through. So this would be the year where, to me, if I were doing a project where it's like, let's see, it's like, okay, Brock Purdy was the Mr. Irrelevant. So what if he's the backup? It's just a good backup. Like, he's still under contract for like 3 more years, so it doesn't matter if he's the backup this year. You could make him the starter next year or midway through the season if you have to, right?
You want my
I don't know if that
honest
makes
opinion?
sense, but go ahead.
If you're not going to start Trey, play both of them. If
No,
you're going to start Brock,
yeah,
play both of them. Have packages. Get the guy acclimated to the game, develop him that way. That's fine.
Yeah,
if you get him ready that way, that's perfect. That way, you have your chips in the Brock Purdy basket, and then also you're developing Lance along the way, and that's
you're
how
showing him off.
Yeah.
And you're showing him off so that he can develop trade value. Yeah,
exactly.
100%. I was kind of thinking that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, people will make fun of you, like, oh, haha, you drafted Taysom Hill. Better than drafting, what you're currently using him for, for a fucking, like, all right, let me hold a clipboard on the sideline with my broken ankle and crutches because my coach thinks I'm a fullback.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep saying that because the way they were using him, you could argue whether on that play it was Kyle's fault or not, but the way they were using him, he was bound to get hurt at some point. There was no way. I remember saying, well, that's a great way to get your quarterback hurt. Next play. I said it multiple times, but, after the last time that I said it, it came into fruition. I thought it was a concussion at first, by the way, because he was holding his head. But no, it was
much worse.
Well, honestly, you don't want to have concussions as a quarterback. Look at Tua, but
yeah. So what else are you looking for the Niners in training camp?
So I got my 2 points. My third one is to see how Colton McKivitz does at right tackle. Now, I don't think I've even mentioned Colton McKivitz. Maybe I have.
The offensive breakdown.
Yeah, the offensive breakdown. But, he has to replace Mike McGlinchey. And honestly, Mike McGlinchey wasn't a fantastic football player. He was a solid run blocker, and he was kind of hit or miss on pass protection. And sometimes when he would miss, it would be in the most inopportune times. I think he was better than people gave him credit for. But you know how people have highlight reels? The low lights. Oh, yeah, I could pull one up. I could pull up a video if you want me to, but
yeah.
All right. But I'm definitely looking for. I'm looking forward to see if Colton McKivitz can be good, because I know he started week 7. It was either week 17 or week 18 in 2021. It was a winner go home game against the Rams. And it was when the Niners were down 17-0, and they came back when Sean McVay ran in the end zone to celebrate. And Niners made the playoffs and obviously went to the NFC Championship only to lose to that same Rams team. But I know Colton McKivitz started at left tackle in that game. And apparently, people were doing film breakdowns saying it wasn't so good. But, if you can just win football games, he might get better as the season goes along. As long as you can. Oh, there we go. As long as he isn't losing you football games, I would say, kind of the way Mike Glinchey relates. Let's see here. There's one on. Okay, this is going to be great. All right, I'm going to share my screen. This video is hella funny. So I think Mike McGlinchey might have said something, to Grant Cohn or something, because Grant is typically was pretty critical of Mike McGlinchey. And so Grant just put together this beautiful video. It's 49ers right tackle, Mike McGlinchey's signature plays of 2020. This is hilarious, dude. Can you hear the music?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, McGlinchey, if you ever watch this, but it's the music and it's what's going on. No disrespect to you as a human being. But his nickname was Mike McFloppy. There was another nickname that I saw somebody else in like a comment make for him, but it was Mike McFlinchy. Oh man, this is painful, Loki.
My poor quarterback. Get back here.
Oh god.
Oh, that's not good.
This is all from 2020. So he did improve after this season, I just want to say. He had a bad year in 2020, but he was better in 21. Until he got injured. And then the offense actually did even better when he wasn't on the field. Tom Compton took over. What's hilarious is he always ends up on the ground. Oh man.
Man. Well, now he's a member of the Denver Broncos, so I couldn't care less.
Oh man, did you see the way that the Broncos advertised him? Or like, hold on.
I'm assuming they're hyping him up because he was their big ticket free agent.
Come on. You have to see this after seeing that video. Like Vinci Broncos. hold on. Where is it? It's got to be on Twitter. Mike Lynchy. Oh, got it. Got it. God dang, dude. All right, so the video I found has it's East Bay Chris added sounds to it, and I'm going to play the sounds. So this is Mike McGlinchey right here.
Oh, Kylie, go. Good job, Kylie. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Wow, look at her go. Go, Kylie.
What the fuck was that?
He's just crawling up like a mountain. I don't know if they're gonna use that like for, you know how there's like NBC Sports Bay Area over here. I don't know if they have like a thing over in Denver, but keep in mind that's the Mile High place. So whoever did that.
You know what they're probably doing is he's probably supposed to be climbing like up a mountain. You know, because like there's no way it's gonna come out linear like that because he just looks like a bear, like crawling, and then like he looks up and then he like keeps going.
Yeah.
It looks fucking stupid. Play it again. Play it again.
Okay, I get it.
Just imagine that he's an animal this time. Like he's pretending to be an animal. Like he's playing dinosaur with his daughter or something.
Hold on.
Kylie, go. Good job, Kylie.
What
You're
is
doing
that?
amazing, sweetie. Wow, look at her go. Go, Kylie, go. Good.
What is it? Like, what is that? Oh,
It's just hilarious, dude.
That's the Denver Broncos.
That is the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
You know, he probably learned that from Russell Wilson, to be honest.
Yeah. I can tell you right now, like, if Hefe is still watching, which I kind of doubt, not that he shouldn't be, but just it's getting late and stuff. But for all the winning the Chiefs have done recently, the Broncos are still my least favorite team in the division.
You hear that, Hefe? Mike kind of likes you.
Well, I just can't
That's
stand the
right.
Broncos.
Okay, so my fourth training camp thing to look for, you know, for the rest of camp is whether or not Jake Moody, the third round kicker, can consistently hit field goals, because that is very important on a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. And with that, I will pass it off to the Raiders, unless you have anything you want to say about, you know, the Niner training camp. But I think I touched on the main things that I'm looking at.
Yeah, I don't really have anything specific that I'm looking for. I guess, I mean, you mentioned right tackle. I'd be curious to see how the offensive line ships out. I'm sure most of the positions are pretty well set besides right tackle. So